Hey guys, today's VOD review is with a Gold 2 NA jungler who mains Mundo. So the game review is on Mundo, jungle game, and firstly I just want to say before we get into this guy is a jungler who ganks a lot. And if you don't take anything else away from this game is how important ganking is and how important having a plus 50% kill participation is as a jungler. This guy is averaging over his last 60 games a 58% kill participation. I am seeing in all my game reviews, in all my analysis that I'm doing, I am not seeing any gold junglers with this high kill participation. I'm seeing like maybe 1-2% of gold junglers having this high kill participation. And basically what it means is he's in the majority of his team's kills, which basically means he has impact. Every time his team's getting a kill, chances are he's in there having impact, whether he got a cleaver, whether he set it up with some damage, whether he was the one initiating it. He is always having impact. I think that's the one key takeaway that you're going to see from this game. He actually gets off to really bad starts, gets invaded by Warwick, and he actually comes back and still, let's look at the game. This is the game. He averages a 58 kill participation and aces as his team, even though a score of 3 at 16. So the key concepts are, let early junglers invade you. If the jungler is an invading champ, you either start on the opposite side of the map to them. So if they start blue buff, you start your blue buff. If they start red buff, you start their red buff. So let's say, for example, your blue side, like in this game example, this Mundo is blue side, which means he gets his 80 carry leash on his red buff. If he started top side, because we know Warwick's going to start bot side because he gets his 80 carry leash. If he starts top side now, he's working his way down the map while Warwick is working his way up the map. So if Warwick wants to invade, fine, he can do it, but the whole camp's going to be gone and Mundo's not going to be there. Instead, we see actually what happens when you as a weaker jungler, so versing a jungler who can invade you, go both ways and then they come in and invade you. We see what happens and we see the consequences. He ends up dying. It ends up being a 3-for-1. So his team tries to help him and he ends up dying. Jungler dies, mid dies, and top dies. So we'll watch that play out, how you can avoid it, but also what you can do if you do get invaded and you didn't set it up properly, how you can disengage. The next one, pushing out lanes after ganking. This is the #1 thing junglers don't do to extend leads for their lanes, is help your teammate push out their wave. After you get the kill on their laner, push out the wave for them. Let them get the great reset and let them get a really good wave position for when they come back in the lane. Now, the only condition with this one is if your ally teammate who you're trying to push out their lane, if they start aggressively ping you or tell you to fuck off in chat, that's when you back off. Don't aggravate them. But if they understand the importance of you helping them push out the wave, do it. Get into the habit of doing it after every single game. Next one, wasting pinks for information. Now, usually junglers have a problem. They don't buy enough control wards. In this situation, he's actually buying the right amount of control wards, but he's putting them in positions he already has information on. So for example, he uses the Scry's Bloom, which gives vision of any wards. Make sure that there's no wards, and then he still places a control ward. And so really bad. The next one, and this is a really important one that junglers don't do, is if you get Rift Herald pre-14 minutes, use it to prep for the next dragon. So ideally you want to use the Rift Herald either in top or mid lane 30 seconds to 1 minute before the next dragon spawns, so you can get the platings and get priority on the dragon. Because when you spawn Rift in either mid or top, their mid laner or top laner has to answer the Rift Herald or has to give up their turret. So they have to make that really tough choice, and most solo laners are selfish, so they'll try and defend their lane rather than go for the dragon, which means you guys have priority over dragon. So super simple concept, but really easy to implement. Dodging skill shots, super important. Covering lanes. So the one little error this jungler has is they never soak minion XP. So if there's a wave crashing, for example, mid lane, and his ally mid lane is dead, or they're, still at base, he should go there, soak up the XP, because 5 minions in lane is worth just the same as a camp. So you've got to remember that. Pinging your ganks. A couple of times he doesn't ping ganks, and it ends up his top laner dies for it. So make sure as soon as you're on your way to gank someone, ping on your way. Let them know that you're ganking so they can prepare and understand and get ready for your gank. inconsistent fighting. So understanding when you should fight and why. The best concept we talk about here is it's a numbers game. If you only have 4 players and they have 5, you don't fight. If you only have 3 players and they have 4 players, you never fight. If it's a 3v3, yeah, maybe you can fight. But when you take a player out, so let's say 3v4 at 30 minutes, the average gold at 30 minutes is about 50 to 60k on each team. So if it's a 3v4, and let's say the gold's divided up equally, so 12k on the support, 12k AD carry, 12k mid, 12k top, 12k jungler. You've got 5 players there. If you take one out, you're now 12k down. So if you're in a 3v4, you're actually 12k gold down when you start that fight. Theoretically. Now, obviously, it give or take a couple of K depending on who's fed or not. But think about that in terms of a monetary perspective and why understanding if you're the 3 in a 3v4, you don't want that fight. Unless you're really far ahead and you're absolutely stomping them. But this is a close game, so it's really important. And then fighting isn't the only way to win the game. In the late game, he starts getting desperate. The mentality crumbles a little bit, and he starts trying to force fights. When in reality, fighting isn't the only way to win the game. Dragon Soul is a win con. Grouping and just pressuring or sieging a lane is a win con. Taking Baron is a win con. Waiting for Elder is a win con. These are win cons, and fighting isn't the only way you can win the game. Sure, you have to fight to win the game, but it's not the only road there, and you can set yourself up to fight in really strong positions. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoy the VOD review. It's a long one, but it's a really good one. Cool. So yeah, tell me about what's been happening recently. You sound like, you know, you're a bit... Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. So it just feels like it hasn't been working out. It could just be, I mean, like, there's some good wins here. Like, this one looks like a particularly good game. Particularly because you got 74% kill participation in a victory.
Pretty nice.
And you're getting a lot of MVPs, so it seems like you're doing the right stuff. It could just be some unlucky stuff. And it's not too bad. Like, your last 20, it was a 50%. At least your last 40, you're actually at a 53%. So if you look at, like, most recent games compared to your overall, you are outperforming, which is good.
Yeah, I see.
But it does, like, you know, subjectively it can feel shitty, but at least it's actually objectively not the end of the world. And obviously, because you went down from gold 1, it feels in your head that it's like, you know, you have gone down, but at least you're still performing objectively well. Just your rank isn't really reflecting it.
Yeah, I'm just really not too worried about the rank.
That's good.
It, like, either, because I was like stuck in silver forever.
Yeah.
And then, like, I feel like you just really got to improve in one certain point that you got to figure out, and then all of a sudden you're just winning every game.
You make big leaps. Yeah. All right, cool. So, how do you want to go about this? Do you want to do that one game I was talking about, or would you rather go through like a couple of games but look at the same phase of play?
We can go through a couple of games. That one game that you were looking at, I actually had a duo. It was Lucian.
In this 3.8.16?
Yes, think
okay.
so.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the game I was thinking about. We could either go through all in one and look at all phases, or we could go through like the early game of a few and figure out if there's anything going wrong in there.
I think maybe doing just like the first 15-20 minutes of a couple of games would be pretty beneficial.
All right, cool.
Just because, like, I don't know, I feel like, yeah.
This looks like a rip-off game. I don't think you're going to learn much from that.
Yeah, that sucked earlier.
Was this game, was there anything interesting happening in this one, the 4-3-13?
You could click on it real quick and I could probably tell you.
Let me...
Or I could just look at it on op.gg.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a really fed ADC and a very fed top laner, so I mean...
Yeah, you just kind of played...
I think I made some pretty well early game plays, I think, but...
Okay. Another 15-minute. Jeez, they're rough.
Yeah, no, I've been having a rough time with some 15ers lately.
That's a good one. This one's also... Yeah, I mean, there's probably not that many to look at, really.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize that because he's...
Yeah, it's weird how it sets it up. It's kind of annoying, but...
I've been shitting on it with some ARAMs.
That's fine.
Yeah, we can look at the one that you pointed out.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there was a ton of ARAMs instead of ranked.
That's all right.
My bad.
Yeah, okay, let's have a look at this 3-8-16. Okay, so your duo with the Lucian. Tell me about the duo.
He's my IRL buddy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I kind of just I should never duo queue. I always lose my duo games.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got suckered into it.
Yeah.
And we had a it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you gotta understand what you're getting yourself into when you duo.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yo, let's play ranked flex. He's like, nah.
You need an alt account to play with your mates. That's what I do.
You're
yeah,
right on about that.
Yeah, and because then you don't have to stress, and you can try new things, and you can have a bit of fun.
Yeah, and like you don't have to ruin your MMR or whatever it does whenever you're queuing up with the silver player.
Yeah, especially when there's such a big rank difference.
Yeah, and you don't want to offend them by saying, I don't want to shit on my account with playing by you or playing with you because you suck.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so while it's loading, tell me about this matchup, Mundo versus Warwick.
I actually think I remember what he does, but he definitely could take advantage of me being low HP from clearing.
Yeah. Particularly with his passive.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
With PTA, probably wins early fights.
Yeah.
If he gets all of his abilities off on me. Heals.
Cool. And so what's your kind of warding strategy in a matchup like this?
Usually I'll go over to my top side and ward the pixel brush.
Yep. Okay, so you like to go... Sorry, let me just...
I think this is pretty troll, actually.
Okay, so is this your usual path? So base, if you're blue side, base to here, like chill for a bit, and then walk over here?
Not like every game. I usually switch it up. Like, sometimes I won't walk over there, but since they have a Nautilus, I was just covering the front section of my jungle so he doesn't walk in, and just so I know they come, you know.
Cool. This is very late back. It should be okay though. Oh, okay.
I tried to lay the ward while I was back, and then I.
You canceled. Nice. You can I think you can click the ward itself and actually see the distance. And
yeah,
so you like click.
Distance.
Yeah.
I was just stretching it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, Raptor start, nice. Cool. I mean, a yellow trinket isn't that bad if you're kind of worried about an invade from Warwick, like what we were saying. Yellow trinket isn't too bad. Where are we thinking Warwick's starting?
I would think blue side because his bot lane's not there yet.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I probably didn't look at that in the moment.
Yeah. Why do you think it's important to think of that every game?
Just depending on different matchups. I mean,
yeah,
it could definitely be a lot worse with a Warwick or with a like say an Elise or a Lee Sin, but Warwick could definitely invade you as well.
So you going for 3 camp back, or are you going for full clear here?
I'm going for the back.
Okay, cool. Yep, like you were saying earlier. Nice. Alright, cool. So you got 300 gold. Alright, straight to cloth armor. Yep. And runes are you've got magical footwear. Is that what you're going second? Inspiration. Yeah.
Yep, magical footwear.
And approach velocity. Yeah. Awesome. So right now you're even level with, this is actually really interesting because you're actually leveling camps with him with a back.
I know.
Okay, here he is. Alright, cool. Yeah, oof. I wouldn't fight this.
Just die here.
Yeah. Alright. So what, okay, so we kill, let's walk through this. So kill Big Boy, Big Wolf. Now you seem indecisive here.
Yeah, I definitely was
So
indecisive.
here we come back. I think because someone pings on their way.
Yep. Ignore did ping on.
Yeah, but you look at this. What's the travel time for a Gnar from top lane? Yeah. So
I just gotta look at the map and see where he is in the moment.
Then we miss our cleaver. He gets the fear. And then you start running to your duo partner. When in reality, this is probably the safest out, right?
Yeah. They could just flash over the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks pretty bad.
It's alright. Let's see what the consequences are. Okay. That's cool. Alright, so it ends up being a... What's that? A one for three? Oh, yeah, 1 for 3.
Like it.
Yeah. Alright, so that's a big deficit, right? Alright, cool. So go back to full...
Yeah, big deficit for sure.
Yeah. Go back to finishing clear. What do you think was going through your head with, like, your positioning in that little scenario there? We just, like, kind of, like, not happy that he was in your jungle, and you had to, like, you felt
honestly,
like you had to do something.
Just, like, looking back at it, I feel like I was more confident in myself, or in my champion, than I should have been.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. But then I was just fucking around, going to the right, going to the left, and then dying. I mean...
Yeah, because you even told me about the matchup earlier. So you either learnt about this matchup from that little interaction, or you already knew the information. You just didn't execute it in the game itself.
Yeah, I knew. I knew he invaded me.
Yeah, because is there really any jungler that kind of Mundo beats at level 3 if you get invaded? It's kind of tough, I think.
Not if it's an invading jungler.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of tough, but that's a real key learning though, right? Like, just respect, because you didn't actually lose. You wouldn't have lost anything there, right? If you just let him go, like he wasn't actually contesting anything off you, other than trying to fight you.
Because I got the big wolf, I could have just gotten the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, if he did go for my blue or Gromp, I mean, I would have had my bot lane or my top lane and mid lane to eventually get there.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a super important moment, right? Because that ends up being a 3-for-1 for their team, which is critical. Oh, cool. Nice. So now where would we say Warwick is now based off that pathing? Do you think?
Probably went down to his bot side to get his Gromp and Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure because he did such a weird start. I'm pretty sure he went like blue, Gromp, red, then invaded you, which leaves his camps in a. Let's actually see. Okay, yeah. So he went bot Scuttle. Cool. Then you get top Scuttle. What do we think first here? Do we think... Let's see. Okay, good. You go for the gank first. Nice. Alright, I'll watch this play out. Nice. Good work by Gnar. Good stuff. Alright. That whole gank, were you happy with it?
Looking back, I probably could have helped him shove wave, but Rise does teleport.
There we go. Yeah. So the only thing I would say is let's help this guy shove because one, it will force Rise to TP, and two, Na's low without TP. So you try and you should help him out as much as possible, right? Because you see Warwick bot, so it basically means you can't get bot here. So I think this is actually more valuable than the scuttle. Just because we know where Warwick is, and because this is good practice. As a jungler, you should always help, especially a top laner, if they've got TP disadvantage. Because now he's in this awkward position where he can't leave this wave. Because it just fucks him up for his next back. But Rise actually respects it, which is quite interesting. Okay, then your Lucian roams bot. And then goes... That was a little bit... Okay. Nice. This is good. Very smart. Raptors, such a good camp to take. Perfect. Okay. What are your two options after Raptors here?
Look for a gank on mid lane with my Lucian coming back.
Yeah, or even just soak this XP, right? Because this XP and gold is worth more than this. It's these 5 minions is worth more. The downside is, what are the downsides of you going mid here?
To show that I was coming from their jungle.
Yeah, they get information on your position. Yeah. Cool, I like this word. There's a real good placement of this control ward. If you can get it, you can see my cursor, right? Yeah. If you can get it right here, you can actually see the red buff with it, and it's still in the bush. So that's a nice little one. Cool. Cool, and again, look at this camp difference, right? He's ganked a lot more, but you've got this really nice camp difference coming up here. Cool. Alright.
I'm not sure what I can do here. I feel like I should just back.
Yeah. And now we've done this weird control ward thing where we've kind of used 150 gold. Yeah. That's 150 gold, right?
I remember doing that.
Yeah.
Such an idiot.
That's alright.
I did fat deep ward in the jungle and I just...
Because that was a really good ward, and then you just negated it completely.
I know, I remember doing that. I was pissed at myself.
Yeah, that's alright.
Then I back and don't even get another one because I can't afford it.
Yeah, because you bought 2 at the start. Alright, cool. So you're gonna do Krugs. Alright, they got drag while we're doing that as well. Shame Lux doesn't clear that for you.
Right.
But it could be on here, depending if they go for the clear, but it doesn't look like it.
I'm wasting time.
Yeah. No, it's okay though. Because, I mean, at this point it's 5 and 9, and you've got a nice little lead, so I think you can afford to do it.
Yeah, true.
Nice. That's worth. Ooh. Cool. What could we look for here?
Get a war or look for his blue maybe, or just clear my jungle.
Yeah, just let's have a look. We've got this. We've got you've got. I mean, you don't have flash up.
Maybe look for a counter gank mid lane because Lucian pushed up really far.
Yeah, and then he died. Yeah. All right. Now let's see about this, because I feel like Warwick might try and come get something bot here.
Yeah.
But maybe not. It's not really on for him. Cool. Nice, that's efficient. You really know your jungle efficiency, which is really good.
I don't know, I've seen that the tip in the loading screen telling you that the smallest Krugs give you the most gold. And then, I actually looked at it, they give you 12 each. I was like, 48.
Yeah.
For those little 4 ones, that's a shit ton. Because I used to leave them behind.
Yeah.
I do not leave them behind anymore unless I'm running for a
Yeah.
gank or something.
Yeah, yeah. That's smart. All right. So what are we looking for? It's kind of 7 minutes 50. We're 6 to 10. We've got a bit of a lead on Warwick. You probably can't really see this CS exactly, but what's going through your head at this point?
Definitely see that Rift Herald's coming up.
Yeah. And we know Warwicks generally want that. Okay, we see him go. Oh, that was actually really well played by the Gnar. Nice. Oh, he was so close to playing that perfectly. Oh, nice. We'll take that. Good job. Unfortunately, you can't really stay here. Oh, that's unlucky.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Because I know Lucia, I mean, he told me that she's missing, but I just walked there anyways because I'm stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we see a path, but you're so concentrated on the Gnar. I mean, I didn't even see the Ari come, but you had it on comms. Alright. Cool. So you're going for your Gromp. Yeah.
Yeah. Greeding up.
Little bit greedy. That's alright. You still got a nice CS lead on Warwick. He's had a bit more KP, but that's okay. Yeah, and then double buffs come over. So why do you think you didn't, what was going through your head here with, like, you had the Ari miss call?
I don't know, I was just I think I was just shit-talking the Warwick. Not in chat, but, like, just out loud. In the Discord with my buddy.
Yeah,
but
yeah. That is a nice kill to get. Just walk away, the turret hits him after flash. Alright, cool. So we tried a path bot here, but bot wasn't really all that was up really is your Krugs. Yeah. Just a little inefficiency. It's not a big one. Cool. Always doing this is a really good habit, by the way. This really saves like 10 to 15 seconds every time you do it.
Yeah, the early back allows you to do that too.
Yeah. Cool. I hope you go for Rift here.
I definitely didn't need to break that for doing Herald.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You go for Rift. We kind of double up a bit here. Let's go back. So we're doubling up here, right? So you use that, which gives you full vision. Yeah, and then you chuck a control ward, even though we know... Like, no one's going to come in here, right? Because Ryze just backed, Ari's mid, and Warwick's bot. So again, we just got to watch out. Like, it's good to place control wards, and it's good to ward, but we got to make sure we're being, like, efficient with it, right?
Yeah, that was a waste of 75 gold.
Yeah. And we've done it a couple of times now.
Yeah.
I'm just taking some notes. Cool. I'm also recording this as well, so you'll get the full recording of it as well.
Awesome. I'll definitely be watching it.
Yeah.
I've watched the profile review many times.
Nice.
Just trying to soak all the information from it.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, what do we know that's coming up on the map right now? What's happening?
Drag's coming up within 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Since Warwick was bot, he's probably clearing his red buff.
Yeah. And
We're
so
on his way to it.
What do we want to do about this dragon?
We definitely should be placing a control ward to prepare for it.
Yeah, prepare for it, right? What else can we do? We just got something that's really good for preparing Dragon.
Use the Rift.
Yeah, let's see how it plays out, because we've got 3 platings in mid lane, right? And we're duo with our mid laner. So this is a really good opportunity to contest that second drag. Let's see what you do. Okay, you go for Wolves. Interesting.
That's tough.
Yeah. Because we need to use this Rift pre-14 for max value for platings. Cool. Okay, we still have the opportunity. It looks like you were thinking about it for a second, then you get off because you see Warwick bot.
Pretty good flash.
Yeah.
A little late to the party.
Yeah. Now, yeah, okay. Now, how does this play out if we put Rift here?
I would have been the first to the party.
And we would have got an extra 360 gold and Dragon and this. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a big one. Yeah, literally a game changer. Because you guys get the win here, but it could have been much nicer. Nice. But you guys are grouping well as a team, which is good to see. Yeah. Interesting Rift. I mean, you're still going to get a similar outcome because they're going to push it out. But yeah, I definitely think plates and turret damage is way more valuable in mid lane.
I think I might overstay and die here too. Oh, no, I'm back. No.
Trying to help the boys. Yeah. Cool. That wouldn't, this death wouldn't have happened if the Rift went mid as well. It's interesting to see, like, the series of events that happen.
I mean, if I just played mid whenever I could.
Yeah. It's a big one, though. It's interesting, like, a little mistake here turns into a 3-for-1. This one turns into a death here. It's always good to watch it play out. See the consequences. Yeah. Still got a really nice CS lead on Warwick, which I really don't think... I mean, yeah, Mundo's a really quick clearer, but I don't think Warwick should be this far behind, but I guess he has ganked quite a bit. Cool.
Oh, Mundo jungle's getting nerfed next patch too.
Oh, really? What are they nerfing on him?
His Q damage to they're trying to make him a top laner.
Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, that's annoying.
I know. Oof.
Run. Oh. Your Lucian's an aggressive player. I like it.
Yeah, he's definitely not a silver 1 player, but
yeah.
He's in the depths right now.
Cool, this is good. Probably won't get the kill, but you might be able to burn her ult. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Nah, you push it this way. Good. If you are going to go for the scuttle, this is exactly what you have to do. Alright. A little bit risky there.
Yeah.
Alright, just noticed 2 things. Let's... Okay. What do we know about Ari in this situation here?
I mean, she can just leap out of there 3 times.
Yeah. She can also charm you, right?
Uh-huh.
So does that mean we should try and mix up our pathing a little bit? Because we're trying to get here. Yeah. Because look how you're just running straight. So it just gives Ari an exact, like, completely free. And then that one as well, just again, running straight at her. Now...
She's definitely running next to the wall.
And now watch what happens with this hook. You're just running straight. Again.
Yeah.
And you knew the risk here. And you didn't flash, and there was no, like, zigzagging. Yeah.
I just got chained.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have some mechanical misplays every game.
Yeah. Particularly, like, in this rank, like, gold, silver, like, sidestepping, actually, like, it's very important, for dodging CC. Can be the difference between life and death in those situations. Because if you dodge that Nord hook, you probably could have flashed out. Instead, you kind of got CC locked. Was the scuttle worth it?
No.
Yeah. And you got a lot of warning there. What do you think? What do you think was... I think it's a bit of jungler's greed, right?
Oh, yeah, that was so greedy.
Because, like, Dragon's not even up yet. Like, this scuttle isn't, besides, like, a bit of gold and XP, like, yeah, it's good gold. It's really not worth you dying for.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think maybe sometimes I get a little ambitious because my flash is up. So I think to myself, oh, I can do this dragon, or I can try to sneak away this dragon or Rift Herald because I can just flash over the wall away.
Yeah.
But then I get chain CC locked, and then I'm like, maybe I'll just hold my flash and die.
Yeah. What you're doing here consistently is like one of the also the main reasons you've always got a CS lead on this guy, which is good. Nice. This could be a really good gank. Nice. Let's see if we do some dodging here. No. Okay, there we go. Flash. You still dodged at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard as well when you're up against the wall. You could have gone, like, dodged backwards. Because you can kind of tell exactly when this Warwick's going to ult, right?
Yeah. I definitely need to try to do some more dodging.
Yeah. Because the flash is okay. And it's safer. Yeah.
Bastard.
Cool. What's something we can help out here with Nah a little bit earlier? Okay, so we do this.
I think maybe I could have came earlier.
What else can you do to kind of let him know you're on the way?
Just ping.
Yeah, I think pinging's important here because he's probably so concentrated. Like, yeah, he sees you topside, but he's probably so concentrated on this fight that he doesn't really know you're coming, like, or anything. I just think it's good, it's like good practice, basically, as a jungler. Like, if you think you're going to gank a lane, just do an on my way ping. Try and, like, 10 seconds before. Because it helps you both out, because it allows them to understand you're coming, but also allows them to prep, which makes the gank easier for you.
Yeah, I definitely need to start communicating more with my team. I do ping a lot, like early game, just kind of logically tracking the jungler and like putting question mark pings when I see him, like Nautilus there.
Yeah.
Communication is surely something I see like a lot of people do, like on YouTube, like type into their teammates to get their point across, but
yeah,
sometimes
yeah. Personally, I advise against typing, but it is up to the person.
I'm glad you say that, 'cause most of my games I do
yeah,
well.
I think pinging, like, you can say everything you want to in pings, and no one in chat's ever going to say anything useful to you. Generally.
If they are saying something, it's jungle diff.
Yeah.
One of my games is like the other day, I had a Darius die literally level 2, like level 1 to someone, and it's like jungle diff. I said, yes, jungle diff, and then I muted him.
Classic, yeah. Cool. Okay. Alright, so talk to me about this. Team's top, your bot.
Yeah. I definitely should have ran top to help my team.
Yeah. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, you end up going.
Not sure why I'm going down here.
Yeah.
It's just an int.
Holy fuck, Warwick. Why did he ult that? Cool.
I think I also was kind of tilted at my bot lane here.
Yeah.
So I really wasn't playing with him.
Yeah.
Miss Cleaver on the Burrhead buff.
I think this is way better. I'm glad you didn't int for this. Because it's only third drag. It's not that important. And your team didn't really want it. So it's like if your team... Even though, like, I think, like, theoretically, like, your whole team coming bot is, I think, the right call. But if they don't, at least you didn't try and execute a wrong decision.
Yeah.
Even though, like, that is the right decision, I think, in principle, I'm glad you didn't execute it because your team wasn't really helping you.
I think one of my biggest problems is I try to execute some plays that just aren't executable at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a Dr. Mundo, that is.
Yeah. Cool, that turret should die. Nice. Yeah. What's... Okay, let's talk about this. Alright, Rift Herald gets spawned. What are we right now thinking? What's the objective?
Get this turret.
Yeah. And what do we want to do? Do we want to do anything else besides get that turret?
Considering I've ulted and started running in, I definitely wanted to, but now looking at my map, Tristana and Lux are not.
There we go. Yeah, that Tristana and Lux.
They have complete numbers advantage on us.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you make the right numbers decision here when you're on your own, but you've got now two players and you're trying to make another numbers decision that really doesn't make sense. I think this control ward as well has got a bit of false confidence and the Rift taking the turret. So there's like a lot of false confidence being built up and then it's just a pure numbers game though, right? As soon as we see Ari, just get the fuck out. And then Warwick. So let's see how this plays out. You guys might get out here. Yeah. Okay, you're just trying to protect for the boys. Yeah. Yeah, you're just gonna go. Oh, actually, this isn't... Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we turned a really good play into a kind of bad play, right?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
1 for 3.
Yeah.
Again.
I think it was purely avoidable as well if you ran out. I mean, even if it wasn't, at least you would have got out and it's one less death and it would have been maybe like a 2-for-1. Yeah. Critical, right? These just micro decisions have like big consequences. This one, the Rift Herald, and then that. Like 3 like split-second decisions that were, you know, I think you knew the right answer. You just didn't do it in real time.
Yeah. That is one of my biggest issues. I just need to be able to know what the right answer is, but
yeah,
again,
easy in hindsight to get the right answer.
Tell you the right answers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to make those mistakes to find out or whatever I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, I definitely was pretty tilted this game.
Yeah. I mean, you're not playing too bad for someone who's tilted. It's pretty good. Were you tilted just off this game on its own, or was there some history, like some previous games or something beforehand?
I think this is the only one I played with him, but I may have lost the one before. Well, actually, no, I stomped the game before. 8-0-7, but...
Ah, yeah.
Well, actually, it was my first game of the day.
Okay. The game before this?
No, this game was the first
game
of the day.
Gotcha.
One from the previous day.
Yeah, okay. What tilted you in this game?
Um, maybe just die. I don't know. If I get a bad start, get invaded and die, that kind of just sets me up to just kind of tunnel vision on the game.
Yeah.
And just try to FF it.
Do you think that's beneficial?
Definitely not. I mean, not, unless it's just like obvious, like 0 to 10 or something. I mean,
yeah,
to 20.
Because this game has never felt losable. Looking at it to me, sorry, not as it like it's never felt unwinnable. I think looking at it.
No, it definitely was winnable. No, I mean it definitely seemed more losable in the moment, but now looking at it, I feel like I definitely should have won this game.
Yeah. I mean, you can even look at the gold difference here. It's 400 gold. Like, sure, 5 kills difference, but because of your turrets, yeah. Do you have any mechanisms you use to like try and detilt at the moment?
Not that I can really think of. I just kind of keep playing.
Yeah.
Play an ARAM after that, after the one I've used.
Yeah. Okay, so you get tilted, like you get invaded, you get angry. Are you angry at yourself?
I don't think I'm really even angry. It's just like, I guess I'm angry, but it's more like...
Is it like hopelessness?
Mate, I think it's just like, I love being 10-0 and 5, but I mean, it's definitely not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Just bad starts to the game, kind of. Yeah.
So you love stomps. You don't like close games.
I mean, I like close games if I win them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I like games I win.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely wasn't playing with my bot side, which I definitely should have been with my Kraken Slayer, Tristana.
She seems like a bit of the win con. And you also notice how you started your pathing is now how you're pathing every time. Bot, top, which means you can never prior this.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll get into this pattern. Not many junglers realize this, but even in mid game, if you are always clearing from bot to top, it's going to keep happening because it's just natural. Yeah. It's just how the timers work. And then dragons and rifts do it as well because it's like, I think it's 6 minutes rift, 5 minutes drag. And so those are then linked to your buffs, which are also 5 minutes. So you actually do this bot top thing. And then if your priority lane is bot, you're actually never being there. Because you're going bot top other than top bot. Which is an interesting one.
I just hate starting blue on Mundo.
Yeah. No, it sucks. I mean, actually, let's think about this. I think you can do the exact same strategy topside. Like, you go... It's actually quicker. Because Krugs is the slowest camp to take. This, if you're doing the back, the topside start's actually perfect. Like, it feels shitty, but it's actually super safe, right? Thinking about it, it's actually a really good point if you're doing that 3 camp back. Because it prevents Warwick. Like, imagine Warwick invading you here. He'd come down here at whatever it was, like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes 50, and there's nothing here. Kind of like what we were talking about, the cross map. Starting on the opposite side if you think you're going to get invaded, particularly as a Mundo. I think your 3 camp star can work perfectly blue side as well.
Yeah, I think I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah. I think that's actually a really good discovery. Cool, I like this little setup. Shows a bit of teamwork here. This is the first time I think your team's grouped as 5.
Yep.
Oh, Tristana.
And then she goes.
Yeah.
Right.
So 1 for 1. Oh, Warwick, why'd you have to step there?
Yeah, right.
Little fucker. Cool. Alright. Again, this is a interesting. Yeah, cool. We don't want this. Good. This is really important. Ping the drag. Cool. How else? What's this?
Did I drop that? Right
You
there?
just did.
That's awful.
Alright. Cool. I like this. I like this. So prepping dragon. Prepping dragon. I think we can clear this and get this into the turret. Because again, this causes something that they have to answer or they lose the CS. So it's a win-win for you. Because there's nothing else here. You guys can do that scuttle whenever. There's nothing here for you at the moment. So I think you push this, get that crashing. They lose, what is that, like 50 or 100 gold? Not a big deal, but it is significant. Because
I
now...
had two.
Yeah. And then, yeah, this... Wait a second, what happens here? Okay, you place the ward, then someone uses their pink ward.
No. I went back up and
Oh,
put it
fuck. Oh, shit. Okay.
because I realized I fucked up.
I mean, at least you got the right idea, right? You're trying to prep dragon.
I'm trying to. I'm my best.
Cool.
I think we all just died, and honestly. That could have been a dangerous face check, maybe.
Yeah. I think this would have really helped you guys out, because this would have got them thinking about that. Alright. Who starts this? Alright, so you get up there. I like this. Yeah, risky, but... I mean, yeah, you don't even have flash, actually. Very risky, but... It's a general assumption. Alright. Situation right now, before we even engage, what's going on here?
Yeah, we got drag spawning.
Yeah.
I think I'm just trying to set up a pick, maybe.
Yeah. Are we set up for a pick, do you think?
Not with our Tristana not here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so your Lucian goes in. It's not bad. I mean, it worked. Holy shit. Okay, it works out. Not too poorly. Okay. It's pretty messy, right?
Yeah.
Cool. You guys can get dragged, though. I'm trying to theory craft here what would have happened if we waited, but it's hard to, right? Because you didn't even engage this, your team did. So you're just doing what your team's doing. I think, again, in principle, you don't go for this until Trist is here, but you didn't initiate it, so I don't think you could have done anything different. I think the way you played it was quite good. Shame you stepped on this trap. But
I have a pretty bad... I think my clicking skills, as bad as it sounds, I don't think they're very good.
Yeah, I think ARAMs are pretty good for that.
Play a shit ton of air.
Yeah. Maybe not clicking enough in ARAMs.
Maybe not.
Because you kite camps as well, which makes me think... See, like, you move attack, which makes... Okay, no, you're not, but... You're almost always move attacking, like attack moving, which I don't... Like, it almost goes away when you're fighting, like, people. But when you're versing camps, you do it most of the time. Because it works...
As you're talking.
Yeah. Because what else is good about attack moving with what rune you've gone? Your keystone, right? Yeah.
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 Speed and health.
Yeah. Cool. Yep, you're on the back here. Team comps. What are you thinking as we get later and later into this game?
Oh, it's gonna get harder with the rise.
What about Triss Kate? Let's go through it all. Lux Nort. Interesting because it's hard to really compare those two.
Not has so much utility.
Yeah. Triss Kate, who outscales?
Trist.
Yeah. Mid lane, that's kind of even. Because neither of them scale that well.
Yeah.
And then you Warwick, like, that's tough as well. And then, yeah, Rise. I think the Rise is, like, the scariest one. But I don't think you guys are on a timer. Like, it's not like they have a Cassidy or a Kale, right?
Yeah,
So I hope you guys just, like, take this game slow, because that's really what you need to do. There's really no rush here. It's like, yeah, Baron's up, but if you don't have it prepped, you can't really do much. Cool, so I want you to group mid here. Because we can't do Baron without pressure, right? What do we need? We're like, yeah, what are the conditions of Baron? We need to, like, get kills on them. We need pressure. Or they need to be not aware that we're trying to do it. But they're very aware. Oh, if Lux got that Q. Cool.
right into it.
Oh, Lux. Okay. Good pick, though. Like, good little play there. We still don't have enough for Baron, so I don't want to see you trying to do Baron. Taking Scuttle's fine. Yep, stay grouped. Good. You can prep Baron, but it's not on until you guys get something.
What should we be doing right now, or what should I be doing?
Just staying grouped. No, this is what you're doing right now is perfectly fine. You guys just can't do Baron until you get something. So you need to get a pick. And basically what you're doing is preparing for this. I mean, Tristana is in a really dangerous position here, but you guys are doing the exact right thing. Okay. Triss is playing a little dangerously for where you guys are, but I think it's okay because she's understanding and playing safe, and she does have flash heal up. Okay, cool. This is what we want. I think this is a pick you guys actually... This is really good for you. Cool. Oh, it's a shame Lux isn't here. This is a really good pick because of this. Tristana's got 2 for 1 here. I mean, Rise can ult in, but let's see how this plays out. Cool. Good. Oh, the sound is all fucked up.
I haven't even been able to hear the...
Okay. I'm turning it off for me because it was all fucked up. I play pause too much.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So still not enough to do Baron. This is... Oh, I mean, it's close. I guess this is a 50-50.
It doesn't turn out, I don't think.
I mean, maybe you guys just get this. Okay. I stand wrong. They're not coming. They're coming way too late for this. It's actually... Okay, why do you guys get this? You guys get this basically because of these health bars, I think. So this little fight here was really good. Really good patience by you guys. Yeah, I mean, it's not actually the wrong call. Looking at it now, I stand corrected. I think you guys got enough priority here. Yeah, I really would have thought you'd had to get a kill. But you guys didn't because you chunked them so nicely. It was all a vision game. It was all you guys grouped well and a vision. Nice. Cool. Good. You guys just want to reset now. Don't want any of that. Good. Alright, what do we want to do once we have Baron?
Push out lanes or group mid.
Yeah.
Probably group mid since we don't really have too much split potential. I
think your team fight's better than theirs with Nah. Nah pretty much makes any team fight very optimal. Yeah. Especially like Rise's team fight isn't that good compared to Nah's. Ari, Lucian kind of even. You and Warwick kind of even. Tristana probably does better in team fights than Kate. But it's both like front to back comps, so it'll be interesting. Cool. What's dangerous? Oh, nice. Oh, no, no, no. Good. Good RQ there, though. Oh. Okay, you got out. Nice. Super safe. Nice. Good cleavers. Good. You burnt Ari's ult there. I think you stop chasing after that, though. Yeah. I think you got a really good outcome here. I think this is a perfect outcome because of this. Yeah, I think you stop now. I think here you just stop. Because again, like Tristana's not here. Na's still mini. There's no real fight here with you three. You've got all the information of where they are. They've got 5. You've got 3 with a mini Na and a Tristana like 5 seconds away. So you pretty much die before Tristana even gets into this fight. Yeah. And you don't flash either. Oh, you flash super late. Yeah. Let's see how your team plays this, though. I mean, okay. Never mind. It works out for your team. Almost. Oh, yeah.
Oof. We came out on top of kind of
very tight.
You mind giving me like 30 seconds just real quick?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Be right back.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's all right. So what's another consequence of you dying here? With what's coming up on the map? Yeah. I think your team can still get it because you got priority, but it pretty much leaves it up to chance. Well, it takes the decision out of your hands. I guess you're duo with the Lucian, so it's okay. So you're probably telling him to just go do drag. But it takes the decision out of your hands a little bit, which is kind of scary. But in this case, it kind of works out for you guys. So overall, like, you getting caught here worked out, but I don't think that's how we should be playing. Like, dying for the greater good in a situation like that probably isn't the way we want to be playing. I think if it's like a straight 5v5 and you're frontlining and you know you're going to die, but your team's going to win, I think that the dying for that is completely normal. But this one, like, your death wasn't... I don't think you died on purpose so your team could collapse there.
I wasn't. I didn't try to die. I
yeah.
got caught out.
Yeah. Especially with how you flashed. It made me seem like, you weren't thinking strategically with the death. Cool. You guys have... Now you've got Drag Soul, WinCon. I want to know, I want to know what starts happening now because it feels like you guys are playing the better macro. So something now happens in this last 10 minutes that makes you stop playing better macro than them. And I want to figure that out. Because you guys have been dominating, like, by far. You've got all your tier 1s up. You've even got your tier 2 up bot lane. So you guys are just playing this far better. So really, this next 10 minutes is going to be interesting to see what goes wrong. And it's funny how irrelevant this 3-for-1 is now. Like, even though it angered you, like, it's just funny how, like, irrelevant something that happens 2 minutes in the game can be 30 minutes later. But it impacts us so much. And sometimes, you know, you could never... Like, some games you'll never recover from something like that. But I think that's why it's so important to keep, like, open.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we lose to numbers advantage.
Yeah. Again, this is actually... I feel like you guys could almost go for the Warwick here.
Yeah, surely, man. We got all of them up. We
Yeah.
got
And because you're on
all four of
comms with Lucian, he cuts off, you cut off. I mean, let's look at vision. I mean, yeah, it would actually work out with their whole team bot side. It's still on. Oh, this could be good. Okay, so you guys look for it. Nice. Yeah, it's not a little too late, but it was a good idea anyway. Cool. Alright, you guys are just trying to fight, which I think is really good. Like, you guys are always grouped now, which is really good to see. That's not a catch. Yeah, good. Get out of there. Cool. Keeping mid priority. What's the one problem with doing this?
I'm leaving my team up top lane to get collapsed on.
Hopefully they don't get punished, Nas. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. That's a 1 for 2, though. At least there's no objectives on the map, so it's not too bad. But they get... What do they get? Oh, no. Lucian gets the shutdown. Okay. Not the best. I don't think you could have prevented that, really. Other than telling Lucian not to be up that far. Like, he died up here with no pressure.
Yeah, I don't really think, I mean, we're really communicating too much about the game.
Yeah.
Except, like, complaining about it. We're just...
That's...
jabbering.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you definitely don't want to make a regular duo partner with someone. Like, it's fine to have those conversations and stuff and play with mates. But yeah, I don't think you want a regular duo partner who's like that. If you do look for a duo partner, you definitely want someone who you're kind of always being positive and talking about the game with. You really don't like lane minions.
No, I don't.
Why don't you like them? That's just as much gold as one of these guys, and you'd get like that and plus these two. I don't think I want to. I almost want to check your minion score after this because it feels like you just never want them. Did you just smite?
Yeah.
You motherfucker! If that tilts Lux, I hope she doesn't go AFK.
I muted her since like the first 3 minutes of the game.
Oh, fuck. Not too productive to it's not really a win con, is it? Tilting, smiting fucking blue buff off the lung.
Nah.
Little bit petty. This is nice, though. This is good. Nice. Oh, no. And then you go in after. And that's literally this is the turning point.
Yeah.
I low key this I think has to do with this. Like you taking like the feeling of you and Lux now. Like this probably puts you in a weird mood where you're like fuck it or whatever. I don't know. But, like, this is, like, you just run fucking straight at them here. Like, this is really good. This is smart. Burn the ult. Perfect. Don't overcommit. Nice. Perfect. Like, you learnt from this last fight. Really good. You burn the flash. Good. Disengage. Good. Nah goes in. Bad. You guys react a bit slowly, but...
Yeah.
I mean, and then this, like, what's wrong with this?
I'm not sure what I'm going for here. I'm just inting.
Yeah, and you're almost throwing away like all this hard work, these 3 dragons, this Baron, this macro. You guys have been playing so well. Like you've been playing the superior macro, since mid game, which has allowed you to get these dragons and has allowed you to get this like really nice lead in terms of turrets and objectives. And then you almost throw it away here. Do you know what you were thinking? Like what your headspace was when this happened?
I honestly have no idea. I was definitely just tunnel vision and they're just running in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one even low in there that I could kill.
Yeah. What's the key thing we're almost always identifying with your bad mid game, late game decisions?
maybe being impatient.
I think it's that, and I think it's just simple math. I think like every time you make a mistake, you guys are outnumbered. And it's such an easy, like, I think it's got to be a condition for you. Before you engage, you need to like figure out what the matchup is. Like, is it a 4v4? You need to really think about that number. And then that should determine how you play it out. Because I think that will prevent shit like this happening. I think every time you're thinking, like, every time it's like post 20 minutes, you actually now have to always think when you group, it's all a numbers game. Like, that's like the baseline condition. You have to quickly do a numbers check of who's got more champions. Because it's a really big factor.
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest problems.
Yeah, because when you put it into like monetary perspective, like a 3v4, like it's like a 10k gold difference. If you don't have a champion there, it's like being down 10k or something, you know, like depending on when the game is, it can be even more than that. Like 60k, so each of your teammates is worth like 12k or whatever. So if you're playing without Tristana can't really fight here, Lux can't fight here, you're playing down almost like 24k here by going in. So it's like, we have to look at that. But I think identifying it here is a really good point. Because like anything that these guys... Oh my god, what happened there? Oh my, why are you lagging? Alright, let's see if this stops lagging. No, it doesn't. Alright, I'm just going to quickly restart this. 32 minutes.
All good.
I think this moment here is the real big tipping point. I think you guys were winning this mid game so hard, and this one little, I guess, big mistake. Okay, there we go. Cool. And I think it's a really preventable mistake. I think the tilt had a little bit to do with it, but I really think it's just a statistical, like, it's like pure math. Like, super simple addition or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because it honestly, it erases all your hard work. That one decision, where is it? Where were we?
Yeah, 32-17.
Ah, 32-17, nice. I don't know how I completely forgot that already.
So good.
And again, your team's like doing, like, your team is recovering a bit, but like such a big problem when your two frontliners are out of the fight. Oh no. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Damn. Yep.
Not enough. Oh, jeez. How do they get dragon here? Okay, let's see how this plays out. What's more important for you guys right now, Drag or Baron, do you think?
Definitely Drag, Ocean Soul on Mundo.
Yeah, Triss is looking for a pick. Okay, cool. You're up before Warwick. No way. If not, they're both backing. Okay, how do you guys not get this drag? Let's see. Okay, Warwick's up in 6. Okay, so Warwick gets up in time. Your team doesn't want to start it. Fuck, I really think they should have started that. Okay, you're coming over. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bad position. I just get outsmarted.
Yeah. Yeah, you got C.
Not even smited. I just missmited. And at the same time, I'm just inting for it, so...
Oh, I think you gotta literally... dying for that drag's so worth, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think this whole thing's... like, if you didn't die here, this dragon is free. Because you guys would have all been here. Really interesting. The consequences.
I think I just need to think more into the future. Like how much death at a certain time would affect myself and, like, commitment. for
Yeah.
2 minutes.
I think you almost like sometimes you forget your champion's identity as well. Like Mundo isn't like a 4v1 champ. Like you can 4v1 as long as like your Tristana's right behind you. But if she's not behind you, like you can't do that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I think you got to like have a real clear identity in the mid late game. Particularly in this game, it's like I would be like, sure, if your Tristana's like bad or you like your Lucian, like they're 0-9, 0-7 or something, yeah, maybe you have to do crazy shit like this because they're not going to do anything. But in this game specifically, they are really useful. So you may as well play to them as win cons. Even if you neglected them a bit in the early game, at least play to them in mid/late. Yeah. Again, this is really like this is pretty similar setup to the last Baron, so it'll be interesting to see what the mistake is this time. Because right now, you guys being grouped is perfectly fine. Okay, good. You're not starting. That's a really good pick. Ooh. Nice, you get out. Good. There it is.
Yep. Maybe I could have been positioned more in front of her, but I feel like she should be positioned behind me.
Yeah. Yeah, there. That little, she wanted one more attack.
She needs to walk with us.
Late cleanse as well, and needs to flash instead of jump. I think she tries to rocket jump instead of flash. So completely unpreventable, I think, on your behalf, to be honest.
Yeah.
But again, who knows if this situation would have happened if that prior mistake. And you can keep going back, 5 minutes behind. Would this have ever happened if this happened? La, la, la. But I think this fight impacted this, which then impacted this, which now affects this Baron. Because now it's a 4v5. Let's go back. You can tell... I'm pretty sure you can tell Warwick's in that bush. Let's have a look, though. Pretty sure you... Wait, can you really not see his sweepers? Okay. I thought you could see it. Maybe not.
Yeah, I was there.
That was good. Yeah. Alright, cause so what's the play here? We know they're on Baron. What are we trying to do you think?
I mean, we definitely can't contest it without Tristana or Lux.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me and Lucian doing this here, we're probably just gonna end.
But what should we be going in? What should we be trying to do in this situation? 4v5 and one of our main DPS is out of the fight completely.
Maybe just try to steal it.
What's the one other one as well we have as a potential option?
Pushing top lane.
Yeah, try and push them off it, or at least delay it. Kate puts the traps. Because if you guys delay this, it's good. It's a shame, hard commits, because you guys almost get them off here. Oh, does Rise just fucking do this himself? Damn. Yeah. It's okay, though, because did a really good job there zoning. Okay. It's not too bad. You guys could theoretically get mid-inhib here. Okay, Na has TP. This could actually be mid-inhib. You should be telling your fucking duo to come mid. Okay, good. He's coming. Alright, let's see how this plays out. So what Na should do is TP on the... Oh, the wave never gets there. Okay. This is tough. Na's gonna get caught. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, super hard now to siege against a Rise and Kate traps. Cool, you guys give it up. Yeah, I'd just go for bot tier 2. All right, so the inhib plays off. What do you guys want to do in this meantime overall? They've got Baron.
Just try to stall out Baron.
Yeah, you want to avoid them and make sure they're getting as little as possible with the Baron buff, which is what you're doing right now. This is really good. Because right now, you guys actually have an advantage over Baron. Like, I think you guys are up gold because you got a couple of kills. They're yet to earn that much gold from Baron. Okay, you guys want to get out here. Good. Again, like, I don't think Tristana's in the wrong here because you don't really want to be fighting with Baron, but as long as your team understands, yeah.
I think Nar just goes in again.
Motherfucker. It just whenever he gets Mega, he's like, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucian gets caught.
Maybe not.
Just unnecessary movement here.
He was typing this whole game.
Yeah, like that's just like there's no reason for a Lucian to be here. At 36 minutes, like we're getting nothing out of that, but it's just hard. So these last two fights are really out of your hands.
Yeah.
Nar goes in. Yeah. The last moment where you actually had something you could have done, I think, is here. This death here after Nar goes in. I think that's the last time you actually are able to change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, if I didn't die there, we probably would have won.
Yeah. Which is like, you know, we can't put all the blame on you, but I'm just looking at it from the perspective of what can you do differently. Yeah, and then your FF, fair enough. I don't know if that's an FF, though.
Nah, I
think the mental was boom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because my Lucian was the one that wasn't trying to FF. But I pressed yes.
Yeah. Fuck. That's a tough one. I really think that would have been worth playing it out, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you seemed a bit tilted.
They definitely couldn't end, or they definitely couldn't end.
All right, well, I mean, I think that was still a good game to watch because a lot happened there.
I think it was too.
Yeah.
I think it was too.
All right. These are the notes I was making throughout the game. I think overall that game was pretty good. I mean, your early game was good considering you were behind. You still stayed up in camps, which I think was important. Your mid game was good because you started prioritizing dragons and your team was responding effectively. And then late game, we almost forgot like the consequences of dying, I think. I mean, yeah, your Nar was going in super recklessly, but I think there were a couple of times there where you could have really avoided that. So the first one is like, yeah, I think that letting the early junk, like just let him invade you, particularly when he's not even fighting for anything. Like he wasn't going to get anything there off that invade and you don't win that 1v1. You know you don't win that 1v1. You even said it before the game. Press the attack Warwick. Your cleavers aren't going to do shit against him, really.
No, especially with the Z.
And then we actually had that key learning of you can do that. You can actually do the 3-camp start on any jungler who's going to invade you. I think you actually really should start implementing that. Like Elise, Lee Sin, Warwick, Rek'Sai, you know, pretty much every jungle champion who's almost in the meta at the moment will kind of try and invade you because it's gold 1. Like junglers are kind of smart. They're getting smarter and they're going to try and punish early game, like junglers who have weak clears. So I think that's actually, particularly if you're consistently doing that back after 3 camps, I think you can do it top side as well. And you can do it red side. You can start, because you can start red buff, you could start Raptors, red buff, Krugs if you're red side, and you do the exact same thing. Or you could even start blue buff, you know, you can do it. It's super versatile. And you already do it. You just got to switch it to the other side of the map, which I think's fine. This one, I think it comes back to, like, for some reason you don't like minions. I don't know why. Maybe because laners have, like, pinged you off their waves so many times that you've just, like, given up on ever taking a minion again. But I think that one time we saw you gank top lane was really good, but then you left Nar on 20% HP, and it could have gone really differently. So I think always get in the habit. Push it until they ping you off. If they ping you off, it's not worth tilting them. But if they don't ping you off and they kind of like help, just push it out. So play that by ear, but always go for default. Push out the lane after the gank. Because it's like getting the kill is an advantage, right? It's great, but you then need to like extend that advantage. So how much more can we get out of this kill? And pushing out the lane's like the easiest thing to like stretch the kill as far as possible.
Yeah, all that experience.
Yeah. And it sets up his wave for like the next 3 minutes. So it's again like thinking ahead in the future. Okay, we gave top lane a kill and he got the kill. Great, that's 300 gold to him or whatever. But now how can we set him up for the next like 3 minutes? Which is important. And particularly as you get into like plat, wave management and wave states are really important theories to understand. This one, so many times you'd put like a pink. I think, yeah, you're at the stage now where you're buying more pinks, which is really good. But you actually need to like use your brain when you're putting pink wards down. And don't use them just because you have to. Like, it's fine to have a control ward in your inventory for a few minutes. You don't need to force it. And doubling up on vision. Like, if you use a Scry's Bloom, you don't need to use a control ward straight after. Yeah. This one, I think this, again, could have changed the game completely. It was one of the first, like, I guess, macro mistakes we made, even though you got a pretty similar outcome. I think if we used it mid, you would have got to the fight earlier, and then that mistake bottom wouldn't have happened where Tristana died. So I think that's an important one. Always pre-14, like, make sure we're using the Rift for dragon outcomes.
I think that's one thing that I really haven't been, like, thinking about. Using the Rift Herald for another objective, besides, like, the turrets.
Yeah,
so, like, you can 100% like save the Rift Herald like for 30 seconds before the dragon spawns and use it and ping the dragon for your team to come.
And I think you most people struggle with this. Is like it's very hard in Gold 1 to get a dragon, baron, or rift for free. So what that means is like in bronze, silver, like sometimes you can just fucking solo a dragon with no pressure, no priority in mid or bot, and you'll just get away with it. But in gold 1, it's like you need to do something before the dragon to get dragon priority. And so like Rift Herald is like the easiest way to get priority pre 14 minutes. Like, because 1, it's all up to you. So you get to choose when you put it down. And then 2, you just set it up. And it forces someone to either lose a turret or you guys get dragged. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to start thinking about Rift, is like try and use it for something else just beyond platings if you can. And chances are you're always going to be able to use it for the dragon, whether it's the first or second dragon, you're pretty much always going to be able to use it to get priority. And you know, if your team rotates, great, then you get the drag. If they don't, you know, at least you got a couple of platings. And you tried to get dragon priority. This one I think is important, like dodging skill shots. I think you got to do it a bit more. There's a couple of times there where you're just like running straight at people with CC abilities. And you're a tank, and you have a lot of tenacity with your like W, and you know, if you build Merc Treads or whatever, but you do have to dodge some shit. You know, I guess Mundo goes where he pleases, but you still gotta move around the map a little. Cover the lanes a bit more. This comes back to the CSing. It's like if a minion wave is crashing, it's pretty important for you to like try and get that XP. As long as you're not trying to be like a secret agent and really hide where you are on the map for a particular reason. But I think as the game gets later on, like being hidden isn't as important. I think pre 10 minutes, not revealing your position is important. But I think you really need to get in the habit of like taking lane XP a bit when no one else is there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Pinging your ganks, this is an important one, that top lane gank. Maybe it would have prevented Gnar dying, maybe it wouldn't have. But I think if you know you're going to gank a lane, try and as soon as you do it, let's ping on your way. Or even tell them like finishing blue, then coming, like, I don't know how you like to type. I again say you don't need to type, but if you do like to type, you can even say coming top in, 15 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's up to you. But always do it. Every time you gank as a jungler, like, there's nothing more a laner wants to hear than a, like, on my way ping from their jungler.
Yeah, true.
Because they could be so tunneled, like, the amount of times because you know you're coming top, but they don't, they might not be looking at the minimap. They might be purely in the 1v1 zone, like, tunneling super hard, and they might not ever see you come. So I think pinging your ganks always good habit. Even in gold and plat, like, sometimes people just tunnel. It happens. Inconsistent fighting, yeah, the mid game. It seemed like sometimes you would make the right call, like you wouldn't overextend, and then other times you would. And I was trying to figure out the pattern for it, but there wasn't really a pattern other than that, like, numbers game of, like, how to prevent it. Just always think about it.
I really think that's really what it comes down to, is the numbers game.
Yeah. And when you look at it in that money, I don't know if that's the best way to look at it for you, but, like, in my head, it's like a 3v5 at, 30 or 40 minutes. It's like you're down like 20k. Like, it's massive. Yeah. Like, it's the biggest goal, like, it's the biggest deficit you can be in the game. And, like, sometimes it can work out. Like, that time, I think you guys were, like, in top brush, and you guys did get a good pick, but Tristana wasn't there. It worked out, but it's like, that's not the most, high percentage play, which I think is a problem. And then this one, I think it comes down to, like, you were saying you're a bit impatient. I think the tilt factor came into this. There was no time of that game. No team had the crazy outscaling comp. Like, there was no Cassidon. There was no Kale. There was no crazy champion that was just going to overtake the game. Yeah, Rise kind of, but he wasn't that, like, he never really insanely popped off. It was
especially against Mundo, who's good against AP champs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think your Gnar kept going in, which was his mistake. You can't do anything about it. But it doesn't mean, like, it's like if your friend tells you to jump off a cliff, you're going to do it. It's like Gnar goes in, solo dies, and then you just charge in straight after and do the exact same thing.
I don't know what I was... Yeah. I wish I knew, like, what I was saying at that time.
Because I was like, I can't tell if you got, like, fired up after smiting the blue buff off Lux and you just went, fuck it, I'm going to run it down.
Probably, honestly.
And because then that was literally the last time you, as an individual in that game, had a chance to change the outcome.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really important thing to think about. Is like, holy shit, after that time, like, I couldn't have changed the outcome. But up until that, you were probably tilted. You probably thought the game was like, you guys were hard losing, whatever. But up until that point, that was anyone's game. And you had a say in the outcome. So I think that's a really important perspective to look at games from. Like, really try and take a step back. Take the emotion out of it. And just look at it logically. Like, it's a solo queue game. There's 10 people on the map. Who knows how tilted the enemy team is. Who knows what they're thinking. Don't give up until the game's over. Because if you're serious about climbing, like, games like that, like, if you're willing to play for 30 minutes, you may as well play for 40. It's not worth giving up. If you're playing for 40 minutes, you may as well play to 50. Like, sure, 15 minutes FF is, fine. It happens. 20 minutes, 25, whatever. But if the game's like 30, 40 minutes, it generally means both teams are very close. And particularly in that game, they hadn't got a win con yet. They hadn't gotten Soul. They'd gotten Baron. Baron isn't really a win con anymore. Like, it can get you an inhib or it can get you towards a win con. But, I mean, Dragon Soul is way more decisive and an inhib is way more important, I think, than Baron. So, like, I think the FF there was, like, a bit of tilt, and I guess you guys didn't want to play the game anymore, but I really think you guys should have kept playing that out. Because you don't lose anything from playing out a game like that. If anything, you just learn a bit. But it's hard to take the emotion out, particularly when it feels like you and your duo were kind of, like, not egging each other on, but really putting you guys both in a negative mindset with how it seems like you're talking about the game.
Yeah, he's been playing the game a lot longer than me, like early seasons, but he flames a lot.
He's been turned to the dark side. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Um, the only way is to stay with pure people who don't yet see the game as this cynical, toxic wasteland.
Right, that's how you see it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So that's why, like, be really mindful of duoing with people like that. I think, like, he played the game well, and, like, you guys had some moments of brilliance, but the FF told me so much of the mental state. Like, yeah, I'm amazed your whole team wanted to FF there 4-0. Like, I was, yeah, incredible when you don't see chat, and you have no emotion in the game, how, like, different the perspective is.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Did you learn, like, what else, was there anything you learned that's really stood out?
I think one of the biggest things was how to prep Dragon with Rift Herald.
Yeah.
And then also just, I think one of my biggest mistakes in every game is just not counting the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're
running in and dying.
I think those are two really good ones. I think it also comes back, like, even take a step back with the numbers, it's also Mundo's identity. It's not, you can't charge on your own. You need at least one DPS behind you. Because your early game is so clean, like the way you take camps, you got invaded, died, and you still kept a camp advantage the whole game. And you still kept pretty good priority. You lost the first drag, but, I mean, Mundo can't really contest a Warwick if they want first drag. So I just think you did so well in the early game, and it's a shame you kind of threw it all away with poor mentality and a couple of really, just unfortunate split-second decisions that were really preventable.
Yeah.
Because you did all the hard work. Like, the early game is the hardest, like, staying in an advantage when you're behind, like ganking, getting Rift Herald, getting, like, the next two drags after they get the first one. Like, that's all the real hard work. Like, the shit that you actually have to really think about and strategically set up. Yeah. And then we throw it away, it's such a shame. Yeah. But it's such a common problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't the prettiest game, but it definitely showed me a lot of my weaknesses.
Yeah.
To work on.
But you can also see, like, I can now see how you just fucking stomp games and go, like, 8-0, because the way you play jungle, if you don't get invaded or, like, that 3-for-1 doesn't happen in the early game, I can just see the snowball just happening, because your gank frequency is so good, even when behind. Your jungle clear is so fast. Your early game pressure, like, to take a rift off a Warwick is actually pretty significant. And you even invaded him a few times and took his jungle. So you're doing so many good things. I can see how you can stomp, which is really good. Yeah. And I'd avoid duoing with that guy again, unless you're playing, like, flex queue or with an alt account.
Yeah, that was probably my first duo game in, like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
60 games, maybe?
I want to even say, like, honestly, you're playing enough games to have a second account. Like, if you get tilted but you still want to play ranked, like, I would honestly, like, you're not going to lose too much, like ranked gains if you have a second account that you play on a bit.
Yeah.
I really don't think it will impact you, and it will be a really good way to just, if you're tilted but you still want to play League, or if you've got a friend who wants to play, it's better for them as well, because if you're on a silver account, it's an easier game for both of you. You get to, like, maybe test out a new jungler or test out a new theory. I honestly think an alt account's quite good, but it's preference. I don't know if you already have one or not, but I think it could really go a long way.
Yeah, I bought a level 30 account a little while ago, but I can't remember the username. Unfortunately.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I won't say anything about buying accounts, but they're pretty cheap. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, because, I mean, like, especially with this Mundo nerf, like, maybe, I'm not saying you're gonna, I don't think you'll have to drop Mundo. If someone's a one trick, they can pretty much play a champ, no matter what the nerfs are.
Yeah, I'm not worried about his nerfs.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you are a one trick, obviously, because there are some other champs here.
And Zach and Rammus are both getting buffed, like, next patch, too.
I do rate Zach and Rammus as well. I think they're really good. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, besides what you really pointed out, there's no crazy mistakes. And honestly, that numbers game thing that could make a difference between like a 4 to 5% win ratio change. Like
I really agree with that.
yeah, and like that's all you need. Like people trying to go for 60% win rates, like it's just not realistic unless you're going unranked to challenger. Like just people who think like that, it's just unhealthy. Just aim for realistic win rates, and you're gonna do fine. Again, like I am actually so impressed by this kill participation as well. Like this is there's no gold junglers who are averaging 57% kill participations over their last 40. Let's see your last 60. It's probably going to be pretty similar. Yeah, like this is insane. This is like I don't like using Tarzan as an example because he's super toxic, but he's a very good jungler. He's fucking toxic. Listen, I just sometimes watch his stream on mute, but his kill participation is like always around like high 50s. Not many other junglers are doing it, particularly in gold. So I think it's really important that you are so influential in your lanes and in the game. Yeah. Just those number game decisions, those split-second decisions that ruin all your hard work, that ruin these 58% kill participations. It's really all you need to focus on.
Yeah. I'm probably going to hop into one right after this.
Yeah, go for it, dude. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask about?
Nothing I can really think of right now. I mean, you really covered everything. I mean, what are your thoughts on just one tricking?
It's the easiest way to climb. If you don't have a problem with playing one champ over and over again, do it. I'd recommend it to anyone. If you get bored, though, that's the problem.
I do get bored.
Yeah. Well, then that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to really put it against...
Over and over.
Yeah. Like, you can... Like, this is like... I think this is fine. Like, like playing the majority of your games on one champ. Like, that's almost 50... Well, not 50%, but... it's like 40% of your games on one champ. I think that's fine. And then when you get bored, switching. But when you switch, I want to see, like, these champs. I don't want to see like this.
Oh, it's not going to be those.
Yeah.
It's not going to be
I want to see like these big win rate boys who are like, that's insane, dude. Almost 50 games. Look at that. Yeah.
Every time I look at my Zach win rate, I'm just like, damn, how, like, because I feel like my past games on Zach just have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of waiting on his buffs.
Looking at the stats and your identity as a jungler, why do you think your Zach does so well?
Because I gank a lot, probably.
Yeah, because like Zach is such a good ganker with his E. Like you just get in crazy positions. So he just works with how you play, like your jungle style. Like
yeah, I really like Zach.
I'm honestly like to get a 58% kill participation as a jungle Mundo main. Like it's impressive. Mundo's gank is actually pretty shit. Like. Compared to other junglers, like he has a lot of benefits, like super strong, like, but ganking, you'd not usually like, oh, Mundo's ganks are fucking bomb. Like Rammus, Zach, Hecarim, pretty much every jungler in the meta right now has a better gank than Mundo because he doesn't have any hard CC or gap closer. But
I feel like my champ pool's kind of based on my kind of noob mentality to the game. I like playing these tank junglers that I can take a lot of hits with and still come out maybe alive.
Yeah.
Or just like I like taking all the damage, I guess. But I also like playing Lee Sin and other champions like that. So I think maybe in maybe next season I need to add at least like Lee Sin or something to my pool.
Yeah. I like personally, I don't know if Lee's in the best spot. I think like a Rek'Sai or something would be a better. I love Lee Sin's my most played champion on like 3 of my accounts.
Oh yeah.
He's just not in the best state right now. If you're on an alt account, I'd say yeah. Like if you're in silver, but playing Lee like when you're almost at like you're playing against players who are like pretty close to your skill level. Yeah. Lee's very hard. In my opinion, but if you like, he's such a fun champ. It's so hard.
He's too fun.
Yeah. If you were going to do that, I'd say like test him out on your old account, get 20 or 30 games in ranked, see what your win rate is, and then make the decision, like, am I willing to put him in?
Yeah, I think you're right about getting an alt account so I can just test and just play and get tilted without ruining my main.
And it sounds like you kind of want to try some more aggressive or less tank junk, like, you know, kind of more, not assassin junglers, but more of those kind of junglers like Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, Rek'Sai, you know, even like adding an AP like an Elise or something.
Yeah.
Could be kind of cool.
Yeah, right now, I mean, anytime I go into like a normal game or something with like some buddies, I'm not playing Mundo, Zac, Volley, or Rammus. I'm playing something that's like hyper like Yi or Xin Zhao or Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And I think U.GG, if you're ever like trying to figure out what champs you should go, like you can see Rek'Sai up here, you can see Elise, you can see Xin. I mean, Fiddle Ivan, like if you like those champs. I mean, even Nunu, dude, like such a similar identity to like Rammus. Yeah. If you want to like think about a Nunu, but again, that's not really going out of your comfort zone with junglers. So, like, yeah, Elise, Xin, you know, Mundo's up there, nice. Like, where's Lee Sin? Like, Lee Sin's fucking D tier. Yeah. Like, meta-wise, very hard. Like, if you one-trick Lee, sure, you'd have a better win rate than 48%, but it just means, generally, the champion's kit just isn't working. Yeah. But U.GG is a good one to see who are the really strong junglers out there.
Yeah, I've not used UGG. It seems pretty nice, though. You put me on Mobalytics, too.
Yeah, Mobalytics is great. It's got a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, that shit's fun.
And this is good as well because you can see the match, like how many matches are played for the statistics. Yeah. Like, this is really good numbers. Like, what is it? I think it's like Plat Plus as well. I'm not sure though. Yeah, like Plat Plus. So it's literally like exactly the meta you're looking for. That many games. Like, this is really good, you know, to figure out where to go next.
Yeah.
All right, cool, dude. I'll let you get into your games.
I appreciate it.
Let me know how they go as well. Let's see what happens. Hopefully you get some good ones.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know how this game goes.
Yeah, and keep that mental strong, man. That sounds like it seems like it's a really big factor for you. Like, you got to keep that mental strong. Like, keep positive. If it takes fucking going to your system settings and just perma muting chat like I do. I've had chat muted for so long now. Where is it? Yeah, you just do that. This is like this is an NA account. It's level 1. But if you need to perma mute your chat, just do it, dude. It'll help your mental a lot. All right. Yeah, for context, I got to Diamond 3 with chat muted, so it's like you can do it. You really don't need people.
Just do that right now. I think I should just mute it right now. Yeah, I'll forget about it. Like I don't like. Why isn't anyone talking? No, I'm just thinking about the damn game.
Because you literally you don't know, like, you don't know. It's so good. Like, you just completely focused on you. Which I think is really important, particularly as a jungler, because everyone flames the jungler first.
Jungle diff, baby.
It's the reason why jungle's the least popular role right now. Yeah. All right, cool, dude. Good luck in your games. Yeah, make sure you mute that chat.
Yeah, I just did.
Perfect. All right. Stay in touch.
All right, man. Yeah, I will. I definitely will.
And I'll send you the recording once it's uploaded.
Sounds good, man.
Awesome. See you later.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll see you.